Hey everyone, it's a new week, so it's time for a new pickups video. And this is the video of the stuff I picked up last week, plus the retro game convention in Eindhoven. So let's start with some Atari 2600 games. These are all cartridge only, Pole Position, Asteroids, another copy of Asteroids, Combat, Action Man, Action Force, Frogger, Phoenix, then we have Star Wars Jedi Arena, Hey Stop, and Mission 3000, Warlords, Night Driver, Pac-Man, not a Pac-Man, Real Sports Soccer, Combat, Space Invaders below there, Star Raiders and Missile Command, and then some complete in-box games, Kung Fu Super Kicks, and this really looks like, it's supposed to look like Chuck Norris in that film with Bruce Lee. Then Desert Falcon, Combat, Q*bert, and the Parker version of Q*bert. PlayStation stuff. Populacroix, or however you're supposed to pronounce that, and Astonisha Story, both PSP RPGs. Then for the PlayStation 1, The Crow, Metal Gear Solid, Gran Turismo 2, Rayman Jr. First and Second Class, Rayman Jr. Learning English, and Rayman Jr. Third and Fourth Class. These are the German versions, by the way. There's also English versions of these out there. Then for the Sega, we have Double Dragon, the arcade game, Double Dragon 3 by the way, 36 Great Holes starring Fred Couples for the 32X. Well, I'm not a big golf fan, but I don't know Fred Couples. Never heard of that guy. Sounds a bit cheeky, 36 Great Holes. This is for the Game Gear. This is a 31-in-1 Game Gear cartridge. As you can see, it's one of those pirated cartridges that have multiple games on them. And then for the Master System, Sonic Chaos. That did not get released on the Mega Drive. There's also a bunch of Japanese Saturn games, and I really don't know the titles of these games. Haven't looked them up yet. I'll just show you which games it are, but some I can tell. This is Funky Fantasy. This I have no clue. Arcana Strikes, Riglord Saga, no clue 2. Then we have Sentimental Gravity, Air's Adventure, no clue, Desire something something, Gulliver Boy, no clue, again no clue, and another copy of no clue. These are all Japanese and I need to look them up by code to find out which games these are. Let's mix in the first couple of big boxes. Unreal, all PC by the way, but don't need to tell you that. Lomax, which is a spin-off of the Lemmings games. It's a platforming game. Command & Conquer, Outcast, Little Devil, Super Street Fighter 2, excuse me there, Quake 3 Arena, and Turok Dinosaur Hunter. This is one more Sega item. It's a Game Gear Infogrames The Smurfs shipping box. Has 6 pieces of the Smurfs in it, and as you can see, it's still complete and full. You don't see these too often, so that's why I picked it up. I'm not sure what I'm gonna do with it, but yeah, it's quite special and it's a really cool thing to have. Then another strange thing I picked up is this Halle Battle. It's a Casio handheld game. Has a speaker here in the top, but I think it's damaged. I haven't tested it out yet, but it has a little flicker there, or a little black part, so it might be damaged, but not sure. Gotta test it first. Another couple big boxes, the Duke 3D Atomic Edition, but this is the Unlock the Secrets edition, and it apparently has a full motion video with it, with this guy, the Game Master, Game Wizard, Danny Spartan, who tells you all the secrets of the game, etc. I had never seen that before, and not gonna keep it though, don't need the off-spin stuff. Lode Runner The Legend Returns, Resident Evil, and this is totally different from the Resident Evil that I have. I've never seen this version before. If you have, please let me know where it originates from. Age of Empires 2, Conqueror's Expansion, Kingpin Life of Crime, Command & Conquer Red Alert, America No Peace Beyond the Line, and Lo Wang is Shadow Warrior. You'll see another copy of this one later because I got 2 and I'm keeping 1. Time for Nintendo. Clay Fighters 63 1/3 for the Nintendo 64, Carmageddon 64, and Killer Instinct Gold. Then for the Super Nintendo, Cutthroat Island and Super Pinball Behind the Mask. For the NES we have a bunch of cartridges. Bart vs. the World, Punch-Out, Turtles 2 arcade game, Double Dragon 2, Commando, Super Mario Bros. 2. There's a couple more. Double Dragon 2, Pac-Man and Donkey Kong, and then one box game which is Adventure Island Part 2, and this is the PAL A version, so that's the UK, Australia and Italian version. Back to some PC big boxes: Luftwaffe Commander, World War II Flight Simulator, Pyrotechnica, Conquest of the New World, Dark Reign 2, Command & Conquer Covert Operations, it's an expansion for the first Command & Conquer, and 7th Legion. Finding sealed old school video games is quite rare, you don't see that often. Finding them that are not from your region is even more rare, but this is a bunch of Super Nintendo complete sealed NTSC games that I found here in the Netherlands. They're not really special games, but they are all in extremely nice condition, as you can see, and some titles are quite okay. These have the H seam, by the way. That tells you they are official seals. This is Warp Speed, then we have Word Triss, Wings 2 Aces High, Skulljagger Revolt of the Westicans, X-Zone, which is extremely hard to come by in the PAL version, Dino City, which is the best cover ever on a Super Nintendo game. You have a dinosaur in a leather jacket with sunglasses, headphones, and a guy with sneakers, with a cool 90s kid with pretty much the same dress code. It's a platforming game, quite a shitty one I believe. And then the last one is Jeopardy with Alex Trebek. And as I said, these are all in great condition. Game Boy time, my favorite handheld. And this is my favorite game, Pokemon Red and Pokemon Gold. And then this is one of those multi-cartridges with a big top and a reset button on the top. Then complete inbox, Lilo and Stitch, which is a great run and gun game. Metabots Rokusho version X, AX, San Francisco Rush 2049, Spyro A New Beginning 2 times, the Smurfs, and another copy of Lilo and Stitch. There was actually one more PlayStation 1 game, but I put it in the wrong box. This is Thousand Arms, NTSC only RPG. Then Philips CDI, Escape from Cyber City, Inca, Creature Shock, Mystic Midway Phantom Express, Alien Gate, Chaos Control, Star Trek 3 The Search for Spock, Star Trek Generations, Star Trek 4 The Voyage Home, Daimo's Quest, Star Trek 2 The Wrath of Khan, Zelda's Adventure, nothing special, Pink Floyd in Concert, Queen Greatest Flicks 1 and 2, Star Trek The Motion Picture, and Star Trek 5 The Final Frontier. So I think it's pretty much every Star Wars game, or Star Wars, sorry. Did a really bad thing there, said Star Wars instead of Star Trek, but I think every Star Trek film was in there. And this is of course something special. In case you were already typing a comment, this is the rarest CDI game, one of the rarest Zelda games, and yeah, it's been a while since I've had one, so that's another copy for me. Another crazy CDI item is Mad Dog Mccree, the Peacekeeper set. It's quite a big box. It comes with the Peacekeeper revolver and of course the Mad Dog Mccree game. Told you this before, I really loved the game as a kid on my PC, but my PC was basically too slow. I had to shoot with the mouse, and by the time the computer calculated where I shot, I was already dead, and you were at the morgue or the gravekeeper, what that guy's name is again. Quite a cool set, and it's in great condition, so it's a really nice thing to have. And you guessed it, time for some more big boxes. Icewind Dale, Dungeon Keeper 2, The Deeper Dungeons, Dungeon Keeper 1 expansion, The Deeper Dungeons, sorry. Command & Conquer Tiberian Sun, Dark Earth, Ring Cycle, Dungeon Keeper, and Adrenix 3D shooting action. It's time for some strange and special items before we end up with the stuff that I bought for my own collection. These are 4 or 5 actually different PlayStation promo or store kits actually that were given to store owners to promote the game and to tell them how they could sell the game. This one is for Bust a Groove. This is for Syphon Filter. Oh, let me grab that. It's a card and it shows Mission Very Possible. It's in Dutch by the way, but it's task, sell this game. How to What are the strengths, the game itself, position, catch up with Lara and Snake, so Metal Gear Solid and Tomb Raider. What are your weapons, your options, etc, etc. And as you can see, it's from Syphon Filter. Then the next one is for a friend of mine, and he's going to be really happy with this. He's a big medieval fan, and this is a fold open medieval store information slip. Really cool and really great artwork, and I had never seen this before. And I'm a big PlayStation collector, as you know, so these are really rare. Air guides, same story, store information. Then some other things I had never seen before, but I do know what they were, so don't think they're really rare. But these are Nintendo Game Boy Advance e-reader cards. You have to have an e-reader on your Game Boy Advance, scan the card or flip the card through like a credit card, and you'd have these NES games on your Game Boy. So this Spinball, Excite Bike, Tennis and Balloon Fight, 4 classic black box NES games. Another oddball thing is this Mario Game Watch Boy. It's officially from Nintendo. It has Super Mario Race, and I'm not sure if I can get this close enough, but it's basically just an old race game where you skip to the left and the right to avoid cars. And this is still in the seal, as you can see. These are quite hard to come by, also quite valuable because they are actually being used as watches by people who think that looks cool, and actually it does look cool, but I wouldn't turn up at my work with the watch like that, but still. So, Game Watch Boy sealed, yeah, really, really rare. And another not so often seen item is this. It's a simple PlayStation 1 controller without analog sticks, but as you can see, this is the felt finish black one, the matte black one, which means it's for the Net Rosie console. I already have the Net Rosie set, but it only has one controller, so I can add this one. So that's the rare Rosie controller. Time for the stuff I'm adding to my collection, and I'm gonna start with this. This is Iron Sword Wizards and Warriors 2. It's a handheld game by Acclaim, and this is pure nostalgia. At the Eindhoven convention, I had a friend come over. He gave me this. He said, maybe it's something you love, and I instantly recognized it. I had it as a kid. I played it a lot. It's actually quite a bad game, as I remember. Didn't really do a lot. You can play it down here or up here, and in the end you have to defeat this cloud guy. But this is just so much nostalgia for me. I'm really, really happy to finally have it again, because I lost my original copy. Then some PC games. Starcraft Insurgency. It's an official authorized expansion for Starcraft, and these are hard to come by, so really happy to finally have that. Redneck Rampage Rides Again, so that's part 2. Dungeon Keeper 2. Jazz Jackrabbit 2, The Secret Files. Already have this, but this one's a better box, so I'm keeping that one. Quake 3 Team Arena. I already had Quake 3 Arena, Quake 3, but now I have Team Arena as well. And Unreal Tournament, the Unreal game I played the most. Already had it boxed, but without the game, and now this is a complete version. Another huge part of my childhood here, Worms 2. Played this a lot, also played it online, where you had special strategies where you could rope through the entire level. And yeah, playing this with my brother or friends, and with all the sound effects, etc., where you can choose for the different types of tongues you could use. That was really great. Then Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade, the graphic adventure, really hard to come by adventure. Starcraft, finally the Terran version, so now I have all 3 versions. You have Terran, Protoss, and Zerg. Now I have all 3. And Lo Wang is Shadow Warrior. Like I said, Shadow Warrior for my own collection. The box is in a bit better shape than the other one I showed. A pile of unassorted games. Game Boy Advance Final Fight 1. Gekido Advance Kintaro's Revenge. Bucky O'Hare for the NES. Quite hard to come by. Quite a hard platforming game. And this cartoon had an amazing intro. The Bucky O'Hare intro is awesome. Check that out on YouTube if you've never seen it. Night Warriors Darkstalker's Revenge for the Sega Saturn, one of the few Saturn games I was still looking for. Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3, a game I love to play with my friends. I already had Marvel vs. Capcom, but not the Ultimate one. Halo 2 Limited Edition. X-Men for the Mega Drive. Dancing Stage Mario Mix to complete my Dancing Stage set. And Ivy the Kiwi for the Wii, produced by a Dutch guy. And yeah, got this in a trade, and I think I'm gonna keep it. The last item for this week is something that blew me away when I found it, and it's this. Final Fantasy VIII Collector's Edition, or Limited Edition, whatever you want to call it. that's not something super special. I have this one in better condition. You can find them not too hard on eBay, not too expensive. But the thing is, when I open it up, and I'm going to show you, it's complete, by the way. It has everything that it should have, but something is different. This game, Final Fantasy VIII, has a front cover, a back cover, etc. So when I opened it up, I saw this. Promo versions. This means that this game is a promo set. With other words, this is the press kit for Final Fantasy VIII. These are extremely rare. I think only 3 or 4 of these are known to exist. And you can imagine why I was blown away. I'm really happy with this. I'm a press kit collector, as you know. I'm also a PlayStation collector, so this is one of the new gems in my PlayStation collection. So that was a nice closer for this week. I hope you enjoyed watching this. If you want to see more videos, of course, check out the channel. Like me on Facebook, dr.retro, and subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching, and I hope to see you again next time. Bye bye.